Hi, I'm Dwayne. Here I am at the State Fair again, judging terrariums, one of my favorite sections in the fair. Basically on terrariums, they're either good, bad, or indifferent. Thus we have first, second, and third placings. One of the biggest criteria I try to look at is look at the artistic ability of the terrarium. And by that, the first thing I kind of glance at is the soil depth, because as we can see maybe in this one, we got just about an inch or two of soil. And we have all this room to see the plants. So you want to see the visual part of the plants. You don't want to look at a jar of soil. And I'll just kind of bring this one up. Can you see here? There's so much soil here, there's hardly any room for the plants, and you don't see much, of the plants growing. So it's a visual thing for the artistic ability to first look at it. The other part though, you too try to look into the soil to see if there are roots. And that's a good indication that the terrarium has been planted for a while. So like, instead of just, oh, I just made it yesterday, like that. So we do try to see the roots, and that also shows if the roots are white, it's a good healthy plant. If they're kind of black, it's probably rotting. So there might have been a watering issue with too much water, or a fungus issue could even play into it. Here's another little example too, more of some succulents and some regular tropical plants. We see how shallow that soil is, and you can see all the nice growth up in the upper section of the plants here. Then another little thing I'll do, I'll kind of look, and a comment I write a lot of time is we need to groom the plants for the fair. That doesn't mean you just bring it to the fair. That means you go through and check to see if there's any dead leaves. You clean all those off. It's just like taking a livestock. You wash your animal for the fair, for competition. So we want to clean and make sure the plants are clean here too. So I look for that. And then sometimes I'll even go in and do the old tug test. And that means I just kind of pull to see if the plant is rooted into the soil. So that's another one of those indicators, that it just may have gotten planted. But I'm kind of a lenient judge sometimes too, because I know sometimes these terrariums, well, all the terrariums should have been at the county fairs. And sometimes things happen at the county fair, and you only have 1 or 2 days before it's state fair time. So they may have to, change the plant out, that may have died at the county fair. So I kind of take that a little bit into consideration. And then I look at the accessories. I prefer the ones that look more natural for an accessory instead of some that are really flamboyant. Like blue sand makes a better pond than what a reflecting mirror does. Proportion and size, sometimes they'll have 2 or 3 accessories, but one can be looks like a giant, and the other looks like a little miniature, dwarf next to each other, so they need to blend in and be in proportion with one another. Also, along the edge of the soil line, I look to see how clean that is in the transition between the soil and the glass. A lot of times there's dirt flipped up on the glass, so you need to clean that down. A good little trick is if you have a school paintbrush, just go down and push down with the paintbrush, and then if you have a mist or squirt bottle, squirt around the edges, and that kind of helps wash that down. So it's just for the cleanliness, the grooming, the establishment of the plants, the health of the plants. Those are what I kind of look for. And so depending on how many of those faults, is how I determine between first, second, and third. So that's kind of how we do our judging of our terrariums here at the State Fair.